Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. So we are discussing some concepts which we get in Bhagavad Gita, which we can directly translate into our life. Sri Ramakrishna says, there is a mixture of sand and sugar in the scriptures. When you take up the scripture, there could be two meanings of that. One is the historical part of it. Scriptures are written 3,000, 4,000 years before. That effect could be there when the examples are given, when the logic is given, could be. Secondly, the very text of the scriptures. Not all the slokas are equally important. If you take Bhagavad Gita, there are 18 chapters. Not all the 18 chapters are of the same gravity, of the same importance. I'm not telling we can omit any chapter. No, not from that point of view. But even the great people have omitted. For example, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Adi Shankaracharya doesn't feel it is necessary to write a commentary on the first chapter. He doesn't write a line of it. Second chapter, only when these Sri Krishna says to Arjuna on 11th shloka, Klebyam Masmagam Partha. Don't be like a coward. From there he starts commentary. I'm not telling when we read Bhagavad Gita we should not read. We should read it. It creates a background for you to study Bhagavad Gita. So, scriptures are mixture of sand and sugar. Sri Ramakrishna says, the scholars many times give more importance to the sand than the sugar. But the sadhakas, the seekers of truth, always give importance to the sugar part of it, the core part of it, the knowledge part of it. Seekers or the sadhakas always feel how it can enhance my personal life. None of us are here to become scholar of Bhagavad Gita. We don't want to become, at least I don't want to become. We should know about every word of it, no issue. But the purpose of reading Bhagavad Gita is to improve our personal life. So you will find what is the difference between a sadhaka, I won't say monk, but a sadhaka who reads Bhagavad Gita and understands in his own way and implements it, practices in his own life. And here is a professor in the university who is expert in Bhagavad Gita and explains it professionally. If you are a sadhaka, you better go to that sadhaka who has learnt and understood and adopted Bhagavad Gita in his own life. Then a person who knows grammatical and poetical part of it and history part of it. So we are here to take that sugar part of it. Every sloka, every word of Bhagavad Gita is important. We don't say no. But first chapter is a story part. When already the war is about to begin, that description is there. And Arjuna doesn't want to fight. There are some sociological aspect also is there in first chapter. But the philosophy or what we want to learn from Bhagavad Gita starts from the second chapter. That also from 10th, 11th shloka. So here we are discussing the concepts which directly could be useful to us. We do not discourage that Bhagavad Gita should not be chanted. We don't discourage that Bhagavad Gita should not be studied shloka by shloka. We have done this. This is the second time I am taking the whole Bhagavad Gita we did earlier. And Bhagavad Gita is a common scripture which practically every ashrama somebody is discussing on Bhagavad Gita because that is the basic scriptures. And Bhagavad Gita is considered the essence of Upanishads. Upanishads themselves are essence of the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita is essence of all the Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita philosophy also is there and the practical side also is there. In Bhagavad Gita or rather any scriptures, from medical point of view, if I have to give example, it doesn't prescribe you the branded medicine or the name of the medicine. It prescribes you the combination, the composition of the medicine. You choose. When it will say about Sattvika, Rajasika and Tamasika food, it doesn't say whether idli is tamasic or not. It doesn't say whether paratha is tamasic or not or rajasic or not. Philosophy is not interested in that. You decide. Sometimes one food is tamasika for me. That food is absolutely okay for you. Same food, maybe one particular quantity is okay for me. More than that is not okay for me. If you take more food, you feel more sleepy, more heavy, you can't do anything, you can't study. So we take light food. Why you take light food? Our tradition says, how much medicine you take, as much it is prescribed. You do not take so much medicine because you are hungry, no. The word aushadhi or aushadam, it translated as medicine, but food is called aushadhi. We are supposed to take food to appease the disease called hunger. Overeating is not prescribed anywhere. Rather, non-eating also is not prescribed. All our concept of fasting came much later. Now in Hinduism, in Islam, in many religions, fasting is given so much importance. Nowhere in Bhagavad Gita the concept of fasting comes. Nowhere in Upanishads concept of fasting comes. Fasting came as a part of your physical austerity. But Bhagavad Gita speaks very beautifully. Yukta ahara, take appropriate food and take appropriate quantity. Now what is appropriate? Night I may take 2 chapatis, you may take 4 chapatis because you need 4, I need 2. Maybe I need 1 bowl of rice, you may need half bowl of rice. We don't know. So the quantity and the food you decide. The nature is given. Many times we say, because if you put too much technically, you can't eat any food. Very difficult. Other day somebody was telling, we have a huge, in Hinduism especially, we have so much vegetarian and non-vegetarian foods are very specifically appreciated or criticized. So I was talking to someone. I said, what about idli? Do you think it is vegetarian or non-vegetarian? It is perfectly vegetarian, correct? You take only rice and the dal. You ferment it previous night. Put little that idli mawa or idli powder or the paste, put in the microscope, the whole aquarium is there and whole zoo is there. Unless it is fermented, unless the live bacteria comes into play, the idli doesn't have a taste. If I immediately mix and give you, you don't get any taste of idli. But if I ferment it previous night, idli is very good. Because the life comes into it. An egg comes out of chicken's body is non-veg. Milk comes out of cow's body is vegetarian. It's all our interpretation. You decide it. Bhagavad Gita never said take milk. Bhagavad Gita never says take this. No, you decide. What is good for you and what is appropriate for you. We take pickles. Pickles are made when? At least 3, 4, 5 months before, no? Then only we keep. 3 hours before. Any food which is cooked 3 hours before is tamasika food. Yata yamam. Yama means 3 hours. Ashtayama is 24 hours. Any food which is cooked more than 3 hours before is tamasika food. So your pickle is tamasika. Still we take. So you decide. You decide which is correct. Always we should go for the final part of it, not the gross part of it. Another aspect which sometimes I would have told, but it's a matter to think for you. You do not take any food which doesn't have life. Tell me one thing which doesn't have life and you take it, or it is not a product of life. Because food gives you life. If food doesn't have life, how it can give you life? You are consuming something, somebody is sacrificing their life for you, then only you grow. Everything we take has a life, either vegetable or any other kingdom. But it must have life. You do not start biting the chair, neither the microphone. You take something which has got life. Could be rice, could be wheat, could be grains, maybe juice of sugar cane made into sugar. The origin has to be a life. Otherwise, you can't consume it and nobody can survive on something which doesn't have life. In our old Ayurvedic books, a beautiful principle is given called Jivo Jivasya Bhojanam. One Jiva, one living being is the food for other living being. When we die, and our body is buried underground, what do you think happens to it? All the microbes will start eating it. We have, in Hinduism, it may not be a very pleasant subject to discuss, but good for our knowledge. What are the 5 basic elements? Is the space, Prithvi or the earth, the water, the fire and the air. These are the 5 basic elements by which the whole world is created. When our body, when we die and a body is dead, there are 5 ways of going back to the nature. It is made of 5 elements. It goes back to the 5 elements. That's why death has a beautiful word in Sanskrit called Panchatvam Gataha. His body got merged into 5 elements back. So we generally put body into fire, or there are systems to put the body in the river. Merging in Ganga is very auspicious for monks. Then there is a space. They just keep it to dry up. This earlier Zoroastrians used to do it. Still Tibetan people do it. I have seen one video, don't try to see it. Many of you may not be able to watch it. It is difficult to watch. But in that region, The body is put in the nature for the vultures to come and eat. Many monks say this, that after death also I want to be useful to someone at least. At least 15-20 vultures will have a good lunch out of my body. I will not describe. It is little, what is the word? Gruesome. The soft part of our body, they put some, they cut it and then then the smell will come, and within few minutes you see only the skeleton. All the eating flesh part they eat away. So that is one way of it. You put in fire, you put in water, you put in the air to dispose it. All the space also is the same. And burial also is there. Eventually your body is going back to the 5 elements. 70% is water, correct? So water part goes to water. Slowly after death the body becomes dry up. Means what? The water part gets evaporated. And then solid part is after burning you get the ash. That ash is the solid part. The remaining all was water and gas. So the body gets merged into 5 elements. Okay, coming back. So our life is sustained by life. It's okay. You do not want to take other than vegetables, it's okay. But vegetables also have life. Otherwise you cannot take it. So we need to sustain on life. Many times we are not that sensitive to understand the pain of the vegetables. I can show you sometimes, if ever we put a PowerPoint. We had a small plant, some weeds grew up in a plant. So I thought, because it is not useful, we call it weeds. It has got the same life. So I thought, okay, let it grow. So when I put water to the flower plants, I put little water to these weeds also. Morning it is, all the leaves are open, and night all the leaves are closed. So I have taken photographs of same plant late in the evening and early in the morning, or daytime and night time. Same plant. You can see this plant is sleeping and taking rest, and this plant is very much in life, in action. They also have life. They also sleep. We say, when you pluck flowers or leaves from a tree, just pluck. Don't pull, otherwise the whole skin comes out. It's painful to the plant. Modern science says, no, plant doesn't have that system which generates pain. Okay. But in our tradition we don't. You just break it. Breaking is like a cutting nails or cutting hairs. You don't get pain. But I pull your hair, it's painful. So whether plant gets pain or not, we do not know. But to be sensitive towards it, better for you, not for the plant maybe. I don't know. So idea is this, that the scriptures doesn't recommend any item or any practice. It recommends the spirit behind the practice or the idea behind the practice. You decide what you should do it. If you consider this attitude is helpful to you, you do it. Many times many negative things people do, thinking that it is correct, unless they realize that it was not correct. So we must do something which we think it will be helpful to me in building up my spiritual life. Guidance is given in Bhagavad Gita in many different, not only food, but every kind of the mind and intelligence and everything as far as in tamas. So we have to be particular, we have to be careful about following the scriptures. One Swami gave a beautiful example when you go to a medical store to take medicine, buy medicine, do you go and say, give me a medicine? So the shopkeeper, what medicine? Everything is medicine only. No, I need medicine only. So according to your disease, the doctor prescribes the medicine and you have to take that medicine. You can't take any other medicine. So in scriptures, when you say scripture is like a medical store. The Swami gave example, one aspect of scriptures. For example, if you are reading Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna is talking to many devotees. Do you think his teachings are the same? Some teachings are same, of course, but some teachings are particularized teachings. The teaching which he is giving to Swami Vivekananda, he is not telling the same thing to Master Mahashaya. He is not telling the same thing to Girish Chandra Ghosh. Rather, he says in one place to Swami Vivekananda, hey, don't mix with Girish Chandra Ghosh too much. Though he appreciates Girish Chandra Ghosh as 125% faith in God. Girish Chandra has so much faith in God. But still, he says, Swami Vivekananda, young Narendranath, don't mix too much. Why? He gives an example and says, if you have a bowl, let it be stainless steel or glass, and you crush garlic in it, and then wash with water, garlic smell is there. Even if you wash with soap, garlic smell is there. So, to keep the purity, to keep the vairagya, to keep the spiritual as a novice intact, he will say, don't too much company of particular person. One incident is there only. Master Mahashaya was very great, who compiled and wrote the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Many disciples of Sri Ramakrishna came to Sri Ramakrishna through Master Mahashaya. Later on, many young monks joined under the influence of Master Mahashaya. That also is true. In a particular case, Master Mahashaya discouraged that boy from becoming a monk. The news come to Holy Mother. And the boy says, Master Mahashaya told me like this. In one place only I find this. Mother says, because he himself is a householder, he will not understand the glory. You better do what is good for you. Not that Master Mahashaya did not know. Spiritual side is great. But in one incident we find this. So idea is this, that scripture will prescribe you the principle. How to interpret the principle is up to you. If you think, there are many people, now they say because of physical, we are vegans, we don't take milk product. There was a gentleman who met Sri Ramakrishna called Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar stopped drinking milk. He says this milk was meant for the calf. You deprive the calf and then take the milk, so I will not take milk. It is his way of thinking and good for him. But maximum people feel, today is Ekadashi, I take only milk. Correct? Milk comes directly from the cow. And if you want to experiment, take little milk, half spoon or few drops, throw somewhere on the floor or on the table somewhere and leave it. Come after 3-4 hours and smell it. Almost the same smell as the rotten egg. Because it comes from the life. I remember one shloka which comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't remember the whole shloka, but part I remember, but meaning I remember the full. The rice. You cook the rice in the morning, leave it outside By the time in the evening, or if it is hot, maybe within 5-6 hours, rice gets spoiled. It comes smell. So we keep in the fridge, so it remains little longer time. So Bhagavatam, there is a shloka. Rice which is cooked in the morning gets spoiled in the evening. A body which is nourished by this temporary thing, how your body can be eternal? That which is sustained by temporary things, that has to be temporary only. It cannot be permanent. Pratah yas sanskritam annam sayam tacha vinashyati. That rice which is cooked in the morning, evening gets spoiled. A body which is nourished by this rice, kaye kanam nityata. How a body can be eternal? Cannot be. That's why our body also will be destroyed. Our body graph is like this. You are born, so you grow. After some time, no growth, maybe maintained for a while. Then the decay starts. We take food to survive, correct? We are taking food since childhood to survive. In a way we survive. But taking food, that process is slowly pushing us toward death only. It doesn't keep you alive. Okay, if I take food for 300 years, I will be alive. No. So, there was a great rishi. Earlier he was a king. Then he renounced everything. Called Bhartrihari. Bhartrihari says that what you think is not true, what you see is not true, what you do not see is true. Then he gives several examples. That everything is full of fear. You can enjoy this world. You can put any enjoyment you like. Give an example. Food. We enjoy food. I also enjoy. You also enjoy. Up to certain extent, that certain quantity, it is enjoyable. After that, it is not enjoyable. Same food which gave you happiness stops giving happiness. Rather, it starts giving you unhappiness. If you like sweets, oh, I love sweet, okay, fine. One piece, second piece, third piece, fourth, fifth and sixth is going to give you pain. You are hungry, you want to eat. Take 1 spoon, 2 spoons, 3 spoons. Once your stomach is full, the same food which gave you happiness gives you pain. So it is not the food which gives you pain or pleasure. It is your physical situation and mental situation which give you pain or pleasure. I give an example. People marry for happiness. People take divorce also for happiness. Eventually it is happiness. Diametrically opposite, correct? Some extreme incidents happen in the society. I don't want to say it, it spoils the mood. How it is possible that you hurt or rather kill up to, in some examples, to the person whom you love so much? This doesn't match. So your love and hate depends on your mind. Same person you love, same person you hate. Same person you wanted one day, same person you don't want one day. Because eventually you love only one person, and that is yourself. You can't love anybody more than yourself. And if that one person is happy, so far as other person is acceptable. As soon as that person is not a source of happiness to you, you start dislike, you start hate, you start all negativity. Because of your mind or because of the condition of other person ceases to become a source of happiness to you. That's why there are many concepts which we say superfluously. We don't go into deep. Many youngsters, when they come and talk, we talk. What you call love, actually it is not love. Actually it is lust. And that's why that love evaporates in 4-5 years. Because it was not love at all. Love you want to see, go your generation, 2 generation, 3 generation before. I have seen people 75, 80, 85 years old couples, so much concern for each other, so much love for each other. That stage has gone, that lust stage has gone. But the love for the person, so much love, so much concern. Other day, somewhere I saw a picture in a hospital bed. Bed is like this, one bed like this, husband, another bed like this, wife. From there, they want to hold each other because one of them is going to die. What source of happiness it is? No, not apparently any source of happiness, but a kind of gratefulness, a kind of commitment, a kind of, I don't know how to express that love. I remember one incident. A young man was witnessing when his grandmother died. This is a true, real story. And the grandfather was very sad. The young man is a young man. Why you are sad? Old lady, died what? So the grandfather looked at the grandson and says, she was with me for 50 years in every step of my life. Think of a friend, not married, just a friend, another man, or for women, another woman, a just friend in the society who helped you in what you are today. How much grateful you will be. So it's all in your mind. Anyway, so this idea is there that the scriptures will prescribe you the philosophy. Scriptures will prescribe you the idea, not the examples. They will not tell item number 1, 2, 3, 4 is Sattvika, 4, 5, 6, 7 is Rajasika. No, you decide what is Rajasika, what is Tamasika. Same food, which is Sattvika, take more than quantity you need, becomes Tamasika because it throws you into sleep. Inertia will come. You can't think too much, you can't discuss too much. That's why fasting is required. All good work when you want to do, the first thing which should be doing is reduce the food. That's why whenever there is any special occasion, let it be marriage, let it be sannyasa, you are told to fast. Right? So that you are alert. When the procedure or the samskara will happen, you should be alert. Or take little, maybe water, or if not water, take a cup of tea or cup of milk or little fruits or whatever. Because when necessary, you should not be in inertia, you should be alert. So whenever there are exams and all that, automatically children will not take too much food. No, then I cannot study. That goes with your meditation also. That goes with your spiritual life also. That food is taken like medicine. To kill the hunger, you take maximum, but you can't take too much. Nobody will take overfood. Overeating makes us sick. Undereating, nobody falls sick because of food. That's why poor people, they don't fall sick. If the rich people fall sick more. Why? No physical work, but plenty of food. That fellow works, but food is less. So they survive. Don't fall sick. Here they fall sick. So quantity also makes it Rajasika or Tamasika. Item also is like this. So you decide. You decide what is good for you. Many things are simple, but it could be Tamasika for us. So we need to decide what is that. So we started from here. That the scriptures are mixture of sand and sugar, Sri Ramakrishna says. Sand stands for that which are part of the scriptures, but are not directly related to you in development or your spiritual life. And sugar stands for those ideas which can change you, will change your mind, will change you spiritually, elevates you spiritually. So we will be taking concepts which are helpful to us to make and build our spiritual life. All the slokas are part of the scriptures. People have done a study, how many slokas spoken by Krishna, how many slokas spoken by Arjuna, how many by Sanjaya, and Dhritarashtra one sloka. So read only that which is spoken by Sri Krishna, or at least Arjuna also, because he asked the question. So all these slokas are important, but we take the concepts which are helpful to us in building our spiritual life. So last Sunday when we spoke, the karma what we do, every action what we do, and action is not what physically you see, that also is an action, but action is the attitude behind that physical action. We have given examples for that. Same action, the result is different. Same action, one side appreciation, one side punishment. Same action. So how action can be the same? Externally it looks same, but if your attitude behind that action is different, the fruit will be different. There are some action which people just do, but the results are different. We gave example of buying a lottery ticket. All of us spent $2. Only one person got prize. Why? Action was the same. Why he should get money and we should not get money? It is not that way. Action and the result of action is not always 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Sri Ramakrishna puts in his own way. He says, in the kingdom of Maya, always you cannot tally the account. In the field of Maya, you cannot tally 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. No, not always. Sometimes in our primary school this question used to be asked. When 2 plus 2 is equal to 0? So all children will say, cannot be 0 what? No, one of the two has a small minus sign in front. So 2 plus minus 2 becomes 0. Apparently 2 plus 2. But the value of one of these two is minus 2. So total becomes 0. So in the field of Mahamaya, Sri Ramakrishna says, Mahamaya Rajya Hisab Melana. You cannot tally the account in the field of Maya. Same action done by two people, result is different. Whom you will go and tell? You can't go and you just suffer consequences. But if you understand internally, philosophically, that yes, the purpose behind, the idea behind was different. So, Every karma which we do, Sri Krishna has this beautiful philosophy of karma. If it was not difficult, it was not a scripture. Scripture says you something which your five senses are not able to tell you. Correct? In any scripture, do you find the recipe? How to cook? No. Do you find anything which is experienced by your five senses? No. Scriptures will say something which in the normal sense you cannot know. Or sometimes scriptures will tell you some do's and don'ts for spiritual purpose. Tasmat shastram pramanante karya karya vyavastito. Karya akarya. What is to be done, what is not to be done. But that also in a principle form. Not ABCD work and XYZ work. No. That which is harmful to others, don't do. That which is helpful to others, do. Now you think it is helpful to me. Actually it may not be helpful to me. You know the famous joke is there. So the 3 students came late in the class. So teacher asked, why you are late? No, I was helping an old lady to cross the road. Oh, that's very good of you. Second boy came late. I was helping the old lady to cross the road. You also got an old lady to cross? No, we were helping the same lady to cross the road. Then the third one came. Why you are late? I was helping the old lady to cross the road. Teacher said, you got another lady? No, same lady. Why you need 3 people to cross? No, she didn't want to cross. So all the 3 forced her to cross the road. So it is something you want to help me whether I need your help or not. Correct? So many times it happens that it's very difficult to ascertain good karma and not good karma. There are some universal good karma. You pray for me, okay, that's good karma. When you do in action, it is very difficult to ascertain whether your karma is good or not. We give example. If for no reason I go and pinch you, you will be angry on me. But when doctor is ready with the syringe, you are going there to get pinched. Action is the same, but there is a purpose, and here was a different purpose. So always, external action we should not see. If we can see the purpose behind it, then only you will know whether this action is good or not good. So every action, Sri Krishna says, do according to the scriptures, do according to what your elders have taught you. Of course, this part is not in the Gita, in general I am telling. Do according to your common sense. Do as you are told to do. All these things you can do. But how to ascertain whether karma is good or not? So you have a famous shloka, not in Bhagavad Gita, elsewhere. Sarva Shastra Puraneshu Vyasasya Vachanam Dvayam. Vyasa, somebody asked, which karma is good, which karma is not good? Paropakaraya Punyaya Papaya Parapedanam. To hurt and harm anybody is not good. To help and serve someone is always good. But then also there could be difference in that. So we don't lose sight of common sense. This aspect of not losing sight of common sense is told by none other than Yudhishthira in Mahabharata. Any teaching of any scripture, if you think it is illogical, respectfully keep it aside. Respectfully. You are not going to disrespect it, no. At this point I don't agree with this. Because it doesn't match with your logic. Never lose sight of your common sense. That's what happens in many religions. Oh, it is said I go and kill people. No, you cannot do that. Even if scripture says that it doesn't match with my logic. So, but that is our way of thinking. So idea is this, that we should be taking care of this thing. And one word which we discussed and we will discuss next time is the detachment. Detachment with your action. Many times we practice detachment unconsciously. Many times we practice detachment consciously but with not that much understanding. So this detachment is a philosophy which Sri Krishna speaks in next 2-3 shlokas we shall discuss. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.